Now, with all the very latest from around the world and here at home, it's the ITV News at 10.
Cressida Dick quits after a litany of scandal. London's mayor tells the Met Commissioner enough is enough.
He has left me no choice but to step aside. I say this with deep sadness and regret.
From the Sarah Everard case to racism, sexism and homophobia in the ranks, even to Partygate, the force seemed to be lurching from crisis to crisis under her watch. Just this morning, Dame Cressida insisted she had no intention of going. Tonight, the resignation of the country's most senior officer in the UK's biggest force has rocked the police and sparked a political row. Rohit will bring us all the latest. Also tonight, the Foreign Secretary gets the cold shoulder in Moscow over Ukraine. Her counterpart walks off, calling it a conversation between the mute and the deaf. Her boss might have gone to NATO, but the PM can't escape the scandal back home with incoming from his own side.
At number 10, the Prime Minister and officials broke lockdown laws. Brazen excuses were dreamed up. Day after day, the public was asked to believe the unbelievable.
Concern for the Queen after Prince Charles tests positive for COVID shortly after seeing his mother. A shocking crisis in maternity care. We hear how a shortage of midwives sees women in labour turned away from overstretched hospitals, and a brief history of the workings of the world-renowned Professor Stephen Hawking. But can anyone figure them out?
This is ITV News at 10 with Julie Etchingham.
Good evening. As the first female Commissioner of London's Metropolitan Police, Dame Cressida Dick was meant to be a bringer of change to the biggest force in the country, a break with the past. What she did not deliver during her nearly 5 years in the job was trust in the force. Far from improvements on racism, misogyny, homophobia, sexual harassment and bullying, a string of damaging scandals proved all were still embedded in places. And then came the apparent dithering over the Downing Street parties. This morning, in a radio interview, Dame Cressida said she had absolutely no intention of going, claiming she'd led a real transformation of the force. But the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, who presided over her appointment, has been running out of patience. This evening, he withdrew his support, leaving her no choice. She was going, she said, with huge sadness.